You want to talk? Robin McLeod with Clean Energy. They have a draw right here. And they made the draw already, and it is Mary Jane Felix. So Mary Jane, if you're here, there it is. See Robin, way to go. And a Northern Lights Community Development Corporation shirt from LFCDC. And the winner is... Trina P. Trina P.
Trisha.
Oh, Trisha. Trisha P.
S-H. Just say Trisha. There's not so many Trishas.
Actually, it's not Trina, it's Trisha. Trisha for the Northern Lights Community Development Corporation shirt. Trisha P.
Media, we have 2 tickets for tonight's Raider game.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how to give them away, but
right.
if you can find a way.
Okay. Okay.
We're more than willing, anybody who wants them.
How will we do that? How do you want to do that, Steve?
See how many rush over.
That's
Really?
the game I usually play.
Okay.
Make it exciting.
How much time we got? Oh, we have 9 minutes. Okay, Big Drum Communications. That's our guys over here. We hired them to put everything together here, and they've done a fine job. But they have 2 tickets tonight. They want to have some way of giving away. The Prince Albert Raiders and the Edmonton Oil Kings. 2 tickets for tonight's game. So, in collaboration with our Vice Chief, who gave us some good ideas, the first person who comes up here with a lighter. If you come up here and show me a lighter and a bank card, you got a ticket. Lighter and bank card. Wow, that was quick. They're going to the Raider game tonight. Thank you, Vice Chief, for that wonderful way. It worked. Okay, Robin said this, Trisha, the number is, the last 4 numbers are 6688. It's on a ticket, 6688. We think it's Trisha, 6688. Oh, this one.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to make a quick announcement. There's delegates, elders. Just go behind this building over here. You can pick up free flour, potatoes, sugar for delegates, veterans, and elders. If you guys are interested, Igo se, tinigi.
Oh, yeah, delegates. They have lots.
An announcement from PAGC Health after the count. We have the van out back. You can go out there and get your flu shot and your COVID shot if you want. Flu shot and COVID shot.
fasten that, I can sit here.
You guys want to take a break?
Good afternoon. Jim Tassani here. I'm going to announce that Al Descharme is not here at the moment, so the polls are officially closed, and you probably heard me yell from the back, so
Once they get organized,
oh, Al was there.
I gotta stand here and watch this.
You want to take a break? Lunch is ready?
He'll know.
Okay. Okay.
It's not a problem.
Did you want them to have lunch first and then a break and then they can have lunch and then come right here? It's up to you.
The new senator. Yeah, but do you want to come up here? Thank you. I'm going to find out with him if we're going to take a quick break or not.
Comp is not even ready.
He's going to watch.
Yeah, I'll watch this one.
Tell him that too. Count is not ready yet, so we want to have lunch.
Okay.
And we'd like to ask Senator Ecod if he's prepared to. He's brand new.
Yeah.
He prays, I think.
Yes.
Ask.
Okay, so we're not really correctly right now ready for the count, but we are going to offer the lunch right now. Want to know if our new senator, Victor Ercott, can do the prayer, if he's here. Victor? I don't see him. Victor Ercott, senator. If the new senator is not available, maybe we can get another senator who's willing to do the prayer for us for the lunch.
Senator Cook. Ask Senator Cook.
Yeah, but he's not. I called. Don't see him.
Peter A. Beatty. Victor's not here, Peter A. Beatty.
Peter A. Beatty will do the prayer for lunch. He's going to come up.
Good afternoon. We'll bow our heads and say the blessing for the food this afternoon. I'll pray in Cree. No tawinan, kitsi ko ngayon, kinanas kumit na anos, kisigaw man anos ay imidiak. So ito minan anos, kaya kisigak. So ito mi kaya kito itnyok. Kaya kito itnyok, kaya imat sa padigot sa kmina. Nagiskis to tawa na kaya kito. paska isi yun tamidatsik. Iwo mo tagabi at mitsiak mityun. So ida meganigi kay minawasutsik. Ani uta tuskiok kay kita minuto uta tuskiok an utsa kay witsiwitik gastatsu umuta pembatawin. Siman to ina nasumutnan. Iwan uutse. So ida meg. So ida tanama mitsiwin. Tamituskagwak. Namamituninitsikan nag niyawinag tatsagunag. Igusi kinanaskumutnan. Jesus uiduinik. Amen.
Okay, thank you. We're going to break for lunch. In the meantime, there, I do want to say, express my gratitude to the people who are helping with the registration and throughout the entire event. I want to say thank you for them, and I'd like people to acknowledge that and also show appreciation for their hard work.
Deputy, Pete, your deputy electoral officer said remind the candidates that they can have their scrutineers up here as we do them.
Our deputy officer reminded me to let you know, those who are running, you can have your scrutineers here at the stage during the time when we actually do the count. I'd also like to say thank you to Bev. It's been a pleasure working with her, and also with you people.
Yeah, I'll just stay here till you guys are done lunch and come back as long as their counters are ready now.
Are you going for a Coke?
No. Okay, go and have lunch. Yeah. James. James. I need you to sit there so I can go to washroom to watch this box.
guess we're going to get going pretty soon, so if we can have those that are going to be up here. Scrutineers. And the two other people that mentioned they were going to be here as well. Hi. Long time no see. Long time no see.
Hi. How are you? Mercy Cho. Oh, that's 350, eh? Oh, I get Deanne, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll get her. Yeah. Right on the end. Are you the right on the end? We need the two counters. We need. Dina, who's your two people who
Call the scrutineer up for Greg, and you're gonna have to announce that there was 100.
Where?
Okay,
Oh, there's he.
we have two left.
Yeah. Need one more.
Is that the scrutineer?
These are your two helpers.
Oh.
These are your two helpers. You know what to do, eh? This is the process.
Greg Ermine, do you have a scrutineer?
And when they're done, you can total of you. All the ballots are in the box. You show them anyway, right? No. No, you don't have to. You guys should have had it.
Okay. Greg Ermine has declined. He does not have one for the scrutineer, but we will be showing you as we go through these ballots right now. We're just getting some discussion going here, making sure everything's in order.
Yeah, tally. But you're good at drawing. Yeah. And my job is just everything is done right, and they have a right to see it. If he says it's not a valid ballot, you get a right to see it if it's your candidate.
Just some extra information. There was 270 eligible voters. We have 268. The number to match or to be successful in the election is 135.
Oh, yeah.
135.
I do. When he says it's ready to go, I open it. So we take care of this.
Okay.
No, he doesn't need to pass it out. Oh, yeah. Because you're going to stand up. You sure you want to stand up? Because we can get them. Okay. And you can switch. Yeah. This is yours. Okay, I'm going to be open.
Okay, we're going to open now.
We have the two ballots that have.
We still have the two ballots that are unused. Beva's going to be pulling them out, opening them up, viewing it, and then I'll have possession and call the name, whether it's for either candidate or spoiled.
Good to go?
Good to go. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. 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 Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot.
Like this?
Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot.
You need water?
Need coffee. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Yeah.
You need a drink? Need some water?
Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. 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 Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. 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 Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. All the way. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. 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 Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Greg Ermine. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. Brian Hardlot. That's all the ballots. Congratulations, Brian. You've remained the Grand Chief of the Prince Edward Grand Council. No, he's Greg Ermine. Would you like to come up here and say a few words, please?
Yeah, that they're locking up the boats right now and shifting, locking up.
All ballots now will be contained inside the locked box for a day of 31 days, I believe. 31 days. If there's any appeals or anything like that, all the information will be left in the ballot box. The box now will be locked with all the ballots in for 31 days. I'll retain the key during that period of time. Until that time will be where we just destroy them if there's no appeals.
Motion 11. Motion 11. Motion 11.
Okay,
Where's your kit of all the motions?
Once it's all over, we'll take it up to the.
Just wait. You have a motion 11 to entertain and destroy. Just leave it there right now.
I'm good for now.
Yeah. No, motion 11.
sorry.
Sorry. And it was just same like yesterday, you would have asked, just, motion 11, and then just to retain.
Oh, I need to have to fill the vote?
Yes, so
Okay.
we'd ask for a mover.
Okay.
Second, I'll let you know which chiefs when they come.
Okay.
Yes, try get everyone's attention. Just that motion to retain and then destroy.
Yeah. Just hold on, please. Can I have your attention, please? Can I get some order here now? I have a motion on for motion 11 for the Prince Albert Grand Council Annual Assembly, Prince Albert Exhibition Center, October 2nd, or October 3rd, 2023. Motion to retain and destroy ballots pursuant to the PAGC Election Act. Move that all ballots be kept for a period of at least 30 days after the election, and if there are no appeals to the election, that the ballots shall be thereafter be destroyed. If there is an appeal, the ballots will be kept until the appeal has been heard and a final decision is rendered. Could I have a mover, please? Chief Karen Bird. And seconder? Chief Joyce McLeod, Montreal Lake. All in favor? Oh, sorry. Discussion, sorry. Call question. Question has been called. All in favor? Keep your hands up, please. Please keep your hands up so the count can be accurate. (92) in favor. Opposed? I see none. Abstentions? I see none. Motion carried. Thank you very much. could I get Greg Ermine to come upstairs?
Thank you, Jim. Again, good afternoon to everybody. And of course, we acknowledge the ceremonies today. So we acknowledge that. And again, you know, Natawinan Kita, we acknowledge him for bringing us here today. It's been an exciting couple of days. It's been an exciting few months. First off, of course, you know, we'll get a round of applause, a hand for our re-elected Grand Chief, Brian Hardlott. We need to, in everything that we do in life, we have to maintain that groundedness and that sense of thankfulness and that sense of family. So, above all else, I have to thank my family, my wife Tara, my children, Alexa, Kale, Tren, my stepchildren, Eva, Darren, Lena, as well as my mother. I thank you guys, and I love you. To my leadership, I thank you. I love all of you and everything that you do for our community. To my chief, my sister, my cousin, my sister, as well as my Chief Christina Longjohn, I thank you for your nomination. Love you. To Rennie Shaboyer, Chief Shaboyer, Cumberland House Cree Nation, I really appreciate the seconding the nomination, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. As we move forward, again, we talk about a collective unit, one united vision, one united voice. We always have to maintain that and strive for that. When I look around this room, I see, again, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I see that resilience, the history that we have together as a people. I see that strength as we look around here, and when we talk about tomorrow, I see that hope. Those TP teachings that we've been taught, when we talk about faith, hope, love, kindness, thankfulness, cleanliness. If we look at ourselves in that sense individually, in the sense of a TP, and try to maintain those values as we move forward individually, and that belief and grounded in culture and all those other TP teachings that we talk about. If we look at ourselves in that sense, that's how we make ourselves stronger. If we look at our nations and our organizations in the same sense, that's exactly how we make ourselves stronger. Individually, as well as collectively, we always have to maintain and strive for those TP teachings that we talk about. Again, Kitam, hope, faith, love, respect, and all the other teachings that our old ones have passed on to us. We always have to also consider and maintain tomorrow. When we talk about tomorrow, we mean 20 years down the road, 100 years down the road. It's us that are responsible for the young ones, and everything that we do today, they inherit. So again, Kitam, let's work together collectively. There's many challenges that we face, but at the same time, there's many opportunities. And with those values that we hold within each and every one of us, if we do that collectively, that's how we move forward. So with that, again, Kitam, Pitang Skat Nawal, love you all, hi hi.
Thank you, Greg. Great words here spoken. Learned a lot while I've been here working with you guys. I'd like to ask our new Grand Chief, or Brian Hardlott, to come up re-elected Grand Chief.
Protocol, he says. My brother Ryan. My relatives, my friends, we will thank our Creator. For giving us a beautiful day here. Again, assembling, bringing us here together. The Prince Albert Grand Council. I thank my nominator, Chief Tammy Cooks here, my seconder, Chief Corinne Black Lake, Denny Nation. Mercy. Mercy, Joe. Thank you. Kind of overwhelming here. But I want to congratulate, first and foremost, here, Greg Ermine. Let's have a big applaud for Greg Ermine and his family. Her mom, Charlene, is like my mom. Yeah, for those that don't know, Charlene is like my mom. Me and Leonard, my late brother, good friends to the Ermine family. Leonard used to call him Ermineskin, with former chief, now Senator Earl, and the Ermine family, a strong family. So again, I applaud you, Greg, and I'll call you chief, because Greg Ermine was chief for his nation and did that good work with his council and during the pandemic. And very, very professional, the First Nation of Sturgeon Lake. When you go there, you drive on a paved road. When you drive in there, you'll see a beautiful, beautiful new sign with our treaty, Treaty 6, and all professional signs you drive into the community. So I commend Chief Long John. Thank you very much. I acknowledge you, and also Greg. To the chiefs, I mentioned the sectors. You're at the Athabasca sector, Woodland Cree sector, the Southern Dakota sector, and the mighty Treaty 5 Eastern sector. One thing I will say to you, chiefs, I will continue this work. I will listen. I will listen to the chiefs like I have done in the past and move your First Nations, like I said, my first priority is your nations, your communities, the positives that we have to build on in those communities. But never forget what the challenges are, and we will continue to work with that. With the talks yesterday, our staff, we will go to the communities. We will do that. With the forest fires discussion yesterday, I thank the Prince Albert Grand Council chiefs, because you know what? 6 years ago, you mandated the executive here to have a wildfire task force. Remember that? Look at the fires this year. And he did that because he knew what was coming 6 years ago. Look at BC now. What did they do this fall after they're still having forest fires? Now they established a task force on wildfires. You guys did that 6 years ago. And you know what? One of those recommendations in that task force was to keep the provincial type 1 fire crews further into the season, like right now, going into October. And you know, same thing with our type 2, your First Nations fire crews. We will work on that. We will work on that recommendation again. Because I just heard here, it is October and still trappers' cabins are burning in the north. So that's something, you know, we have to work on. But I want to thank you. I also want to thank my family. Jeannie, my wife, over there sitting. If you can stand up there. Thank you. As you all know, Big B from Pelican Narrows, he doesn't say wife. He says spouse. My spouse, yeah. So also over there is my dad. My dad is celebrating his birthday today, correct, sisters? 85 years old. Adam Hardlot. My dad's nickname, or Cree name, is Hohos, the owl. I acknowledge him and I thank him for what should I say, bringing me up? No, I thank my dad for that. My sisters and my brothers that are here, I thank you. But all the people that supported me. If you're going to run for a position, a high position like this, you have to have a real good, you need those helpers, I'll call them volunteer base. And I've been blessed with the people supporting me from my community and also from my First Nation, Lac La Ronge Indian Band. So chiefs, it's like I said, it's overwhelming, but I want to thank the Athabasca Nation for your support. You know, we will continue that work. Call me. Your vice chief is here, Vice Chief Desani. Let us work together. Let us work together in making our communities safe communities. Let's work on economic development. You're already there in that area. But let's not forget about the children and our schools, education I talked about yesterday. Very important. Our health, the struggles that we have with transportation, with our highway. Chief Bart, we have come a long way in building that road from 147 into your community. We will get there. We will get there. We will get the province to work with us, not just the federal government. And we will do the same thing for Fond du Lac, Dene Nation. All the struggles that we have, the challenges in Athabasca. We will keep that mighty caribou herd and stop, if we have to, the proposed mines in the Caffin areas in the north. We will do that work. We will be vocal on that. But that is our food security, the caribou. Thank you, Athabasca. And to the Woodland Cree Nation, the three chiefs, Peter Ballantyne Cree Nation, Montreal Lake Cree Nation, and Lac La Ronge Indian Band. I thank you for your support. Kinanashkumat now, to all your delegates, your councils, and we will continue that work. You know, chiefs, the challenges are common. They are common in our community, the challenges that we have. But the big challenge that I mentioned yesterday, housing, that's common. In fact, that's across Canada. with the other First Nations. We have to work with the Federation, Sovereign Indigenous Nations, FSIN, Assembly of First Nations, on that challenge, on infrastructure in our First Nations, and also housing. We will work on that. But it has to be like what Greg Ermine says, it has to be collective. We have to, it's common. And we can do that as a Prince Albert Grand Council. Kinanashkumit now, the Woodland Cree, with all your councils again, all your delegation. Tinige it now. How about a big hand for the Woodland? And to the southern Dakota nations. Chief Wadideka Wapayton, Dakota Nation, to the Woodland Cree, our Athabasca brothers. I urge you, to visit. I've gone to this community many, many times. Wapayton, it's not far from PA. Journeying on that road, it's only about 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road. But a beautiful community, Wapayton, Dakota Nation. But they have their challenges too, same as in our communities. But what we need to do collectively is to help Wapayton, Dakota Nation. They've been fighting for a new education center, a new school, all these years. I just want to bring that to your attention, to everybody. And I think we can do that collectively. We can do that collectively. Yeah. Of course, the James Smith Cree Nations, wow. Wow. It's been a little over a year since the tragic event. And I thank you. Chief Burns thanks you. When you all came, all came, supported James Smith Cree Nation in the time of need. In the time of need. He appreciates what the fish fries from Tom Bird, is he here? Fish fries from Stanley Mission. All that support that we gave. And that shows really who we are as the Prince Albert Grand Council. Kimaskaya po inano. Kamade padigo kotak ogama kanot suwit nog. Igutakit tohtana no intawitsa. I thank everybody for that, all the nations for that. Thank you, Chief Burns. Chief Burns, you and your council. Stay strong. Stay strong. We will work with you. Again, making James Smith Cree Nations a safe community. We have much work to do, but you have done a lot of work in that 1 year. And we have to build from that, the positives from the work that you have done. Yeah. And I mentioned the Sturgeon Lake First Nations, how I always mention them because I was a band counselor when the government gave us money to do pandemic plans before this COVID-19 hit, 2009. The government gave us those money, and they were the leaders. And when the COVID hit in 2020, they were there, they were prepared. So was the other nations. We had the pandemic plans. We had an idea, but we had to kind of scramble at times, eh? Because any plan, a perfect plan, there's no such thing as a perfect plan. But I commend Sturgeon Lake Nation for things. They also lead the Prince Albert Grand Council in the area of traditional medicines. So I thank them. Let's applaud Sturgeon Lake. One thing, ladies and gentlemen. Noko magantik. James Smith Cree Nation. Where's every place I talk when it comes to speeches, I always mention James Smith Cree Nation and Councillor Alvin Mustis. Can you wave to the crowd, Al? Yeah. You know what this gentleman did? You know what this councillor, this leader, this head man did? And when we got back to Saskatchewan, Chief Burns phones me. What did you guys do over there? Because he had to leave and give Councillor Mustis proxy for AFN. What did you guys do? And you know what we did? With Councillor, the Attorney General, which was David Lametti then, came into the Saskatchewan caucus room. And Alvin Mustis stood up. And he simply asked a simple question. And that question was to do with the Natural Resource Transfer Act, the NRTA, which the federal government, through an act, transferred all the rights to our natural resources. He said, Mr. Attorney General, can you please rescind this act, the Natural Resource Transfer Act? Can you rescind it? And you know what the response was from the Attorney General? I will look at it. I will look at it. And we asked, he went to an auditorium like this, and with all the AFN, I asked, Counselor, come stand with me. We're going to ask him in public while there's media in place. So we did that. Wow. Did you know, some that pay attention to the news last spring, you know, the outcry of the 3 NRTA provinces, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. And Alberta with their Sovereignty Act, and Saskatchewan with their Saskatchewan First Act to do with natural resources. Wow. And sadly, I commend David Lametti. But sadly, you know what happened? You heard what the Prime Minister said, that we're not going to look into this. And at the same time, he did a cabinet shuffle and got David Lametti out of that post as Attorney General. Don't feel bad, Alvin. You know, that's politics. That's higher politics. This is higher politics. What you chiefs do in Ottawa when you go to Ottawa, this is kind of the real game of politics over there, and that's what that was. And the Prime Minister shuffled his cabinet and got the Attorney General out of there. Wow. You know, but I really, really had an opportunity to thank David Lametti, because he did awesome work with changing the criminal code when it comes to gaming. So with that, thank you very much, Alvin. So a big hand for James Smith Cree Nation, guys. So Alvin. Okay, to the eastern sector. Yagoma Treaty 5, Tepamato in Nianan. You would do with all. Go in the eastern sector. A lot of the Treaty 5 nations are in Alberta, and they have a real good movement going right now with Treaty 5. And these guys with Red Earth, Cree Nation, Chief Chief Zachary Whitecap, ladies and gentlemen, sitting with his Vice Chief, Callahan Head, and your council members, again, I acknowledge you and continue. They are working. They've been working. They've been ahead of us. Working there, so what they call with their land and resources, Sapanic territory. Shoal Lake Cree Nation, Vice Chief, that's sitting there. I thank you. And what the work that you're doing, stay strong with the land, with the engagement that you're doing with the province, and saying simply to the province, you know, Scott and Mo, this is our land. This is our land. And what's in that land is ours. The resource is ours. That's what they're doing. Shoal Lake Cree Nation. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Cumberland House Cree Nation. Cumberland House Cree Nation, Chief Shaboyer and your councillors, sir. The good work. You know what they did? They made a declaration, and simply a declaration stating, again, this is Cumberland House Cree Nation territory. This is our land that you stole from us. We want it back. And this is a declaration stating that it's ours again, including the natural resources, the water in their territory. Let's give them a hand for the work that they're doing. So with that, thank you very much to the staff. To the staff that are here, thank you very much. Very important day. How about a big hand, you know? With this, it's our second assembly that we're here in the exhibition center because we lost that building over there. Let's give a big hand to her. Okay, I'll sa second news can tell you, man. I've spoken for quite a while, but I'm overwhelmed. So everybody that came for the support and supporting Greg Ermine. Thank you very much. We will work together. That's democracy in action, what we follow. Even though it's Western, you know, Western democracy, but we've adopted into that. So that's what we follow, but I think it's fair, especially with the Prince Albert Grand Council. You know, everything is right there to see. So that's real democracy in action. Okay, I'll end here. I want to end here. Okay, chiefs, councilors, delegates. Okay, we're going to continue helping the homeless. Let's come together. I know this is a big urban center, and the vulnerable people come from all areas, not just the Prince Albert Grand Council. But the Prince Albert Grand Council cares about those people. So we will work on that. We will commit. And we've done that already. We've done that already to help the homeless. That was a Prince Albert Police Service, okay? To the mayor was here. I don't know if he's still present. Mayor, he must have took off. But we will work with the mayor and their councils. And then we will work with the Prince Albert Police Service. We have always said that. The chiefs have always said that to the police service. I will commit working with the intern chief, police chief that's there, Patrick Naudier, that's there. I believe, I've met with him, I believe his heart is in a good place. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also work with Deputy Police Chief Erica Prince, Nihidawiskuyo, an indigenous woman, and she's been there for quite a while. And the challenges that they faced within the organization of the Prince Albert Police Service. For the stuff that you have heard on the news with the Prince Albert Police Service. There is something big coming with the police service, with the 2 individuals, cops that were suspended. But I won't do anything unless I consult with the chiefs. I won't move ahead on anything, what they recommend, unless I consult with the chiefs. Chiefs, Peter Ballantyne Cree Nation, Gary Morasti, he's not in the building, but I want to acknowledge him. Derek Mackay, I want to acknowledge him. You know why? That's the project team that we sit in. And that project is to rebuild our building. Our building in Joseph Custer Reserve, the building that burned. That's a project team. I want to complete that. I want to see that completed. With your help, of course, chiefs, councilors, to make a beautiful building in there. Kinanaskumit now, and I thank the Chief, Karen, for the agreement that we signed to work together in making that building. I thank you for that. Kinanaskumitan, and we will make it happen, Chief. Okay, I'll end off with this. Kisepiagoak, no? As individual fingers, we can easily be broken. Tagipigo negativo. But together, as collective, we make a mighty fist. Together, we make a mighty fist. And those are the words of a mighty warrior, Sitting Bull. And that's so true. That's so true. So with that, thank you again. Kinanashkumat no. Kinanashkumat no. Thank you, thank you. Mercy, Joe, to my Denny brothers and sisters. Tinige, to the Woodland Cree brothers and sisters. To the Plains Cree, Tinige, Tinige. Bedavia, to the Dakota Nations. Got Tinige minagitna to the eastern sector, Tinige. Nanashkuman maway go tarina. Hey, hey.
Thank you, Grand Chief. I'm going to get Al Deschamps to come up here now to carry forward from here. I want to thank everyone for allowing me to have the privilege to be here as your Chief Electoral Officer. And I also want to thank you to Bev Bird for all the assistance and work that she did with me. And I want to thank you also for the patience that you gave me as well. Thank you. Al?
Looking after an election is pretty tense work sometimes. We have two very good people here, Jim Tassani, Bev Bird. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. We have important ceremonies going on here now. Two things. We need the four elders from the sectors up here. We have the oath, we have the smudging, and then we're going to shake hands with our Grand Chief. Pardon? Chief Wally Burns, Chief Cammy Cook-Searson. Chief Corrine Saizi. They will be the ones that will sign the oath with the chief. Yeah, right now. Chief Wally Burns, Chief Tammy Cook-Searson, Chief Corrine Saizi. Yes, please wear your headdress, please. We're still looking for our elders.
Testing. Check, check. So we got to do that.
Senator Peter Beattie will be giving the oath to our Grand Chief. Chief Karen Bird will join the
Wait for the chiefs to come join you.
chiefs at the front.
Yeah, right on this side.
We have elders. Our elders are here. Fred Charles, are you in the building? Fred Charles? Alan Adam? Fred Charles and Alan Adam, if you are here. Hector Calther will represent the Dene Nations. Let's have all the chiefs up here, please. All the chiefs. All the chiefs, please.
Good. Play lots of golf.
All the chiefs, please. And vice chiefs. And vice chiefs.
Want it?
Wait for the headdress to get on for the.
I'll do another one after.
Yeah.
Check your picture.
Check it? Come on.
What did he do? What did he do?
Look at that guy. Yeah.
We're going to have Chief Peter A. Beatty, Senator, read the oath to our Grand Chief.
Okay, we will now proceed with the oath of office. And the Grand Chief, the newly re-elected Grand Chief, will repeat after me. In the presence of our Creator, His Great Spirit,
In the presence of our Creator, His Great Spirit,
I, Brian Hardlot,
I, Brian Hardlot,
of the Lac La Ronge Indian Band,
of the Lac La Ronge Indian Band,
before the elders, senators, chiefs, councilors, and headmen of the Prince Albert Grand Council Annual Assembly, do solemnly take this oath and affirm my commitment to the following principles.
Before the elders, senators, chiefs, councilors, and headmen of the Prince Albert Grand Council Annual Assembly, do solemnly take this oath and affirm my commitment to the following principles.
The Creator put us here as first people.
The Creator put us here as first people.
The Creator gave us laws that govern all our relationships to live in harmony with nature and mankind.
The Creator gave us laws that govern all our relationships to live in harmony with nature and mankind.
The laws of the Creator defined our rights and responsibilities.
The laws of the Creator defined our rights and responsibilities.
The Creator gave us spiritual beliefs, languages, culture, and a place on earth which provided us with all our needs.
The Creator gave us spiritual beliefs, languages, culture, and a place on earth which provided us with all our needs.
Sorry about that. We have maintained our freedom, our languages, and our traditional values since creation.
We have maintained our freedom, our languages, and our traditional values since creation.
We continue to exercise our rights and fulfill the responsibilities and obligations given us by the Creator from the land upon which we were placed.
We continue to exercise our rights and fulfill the responsibilities and obligations given us by the Creator from the land upon which we were placed.
The Creator has given us the right to govern ourselves and the right to self-determination.
The Creator has given us a right to govern ourselves and the right to self-determination.
The rights and responsibilities given to us by the Creator cannot be altered or taken away by other nations.
The rights and responsibilities given to us by the Creator cannot be altered or taken away by other nations.
The Grand Chief and Vice Chiefs are elected to protect our treaties, lands, and the people. The future of the peoples is to a great degree in the hands of the elected leaders. The people look to and rely on the leaders' ability to address First Nations issues and resolve problems.
The Grand Chief and the Vice Chiefs are elected to protect our treaties, lands, and the people. The future of the peoples is to a great degree in the hands of the elected leaders. The people look to rely on leaders' ability to address First Nations issues and resolve problems that people, youth, and children follow or copy them.
The example of their leaders and the Grand Chief and Vice Chiefs hear and listen to the advice of the elders.
The example of their leaders and the Grand Chief and the Vice Chiefs hears and listens to the advice of the elders.
The role of any government elected leader is to understand the above declaration and diligently practice the principles inherent in our history. The Grand Chief and Vice Chiefs are heirs and successors of our past rights, beliefs, and treaties and governing structures. They are also the keepers of our culture, languages, customs, and traditions.
The role of any government elected leader is to understand the above declaration and diligently practice the principles inherent in our history. The Grand Chief and the Vice Chiefs are heirs to successors of our past rights, beliefs, treaties, and governing structures. They are also keepers of our culture, languages, customs, and traditions.
During the term of my office, I solemnly swear to uphold these principles to the best of my abilities, with the guidance of the Creator and the leadership of the First Nations of the Prince Albert Grand Council.
During my term of office, I solemnly swear to uphold these principles to the best of my abilities, with the guidance of the Creator and leadership of the First Nations of the Prince Albert Grand Council.
Thank you, Senator. We're going to smudge the star blanket and smudge the bonnet and put them on the Grand Chief. Elders, please.
Yep. You can sign on behalf of the executive board. Sign on behalf of the government unit, First Nations Government Unit Commission. Roy Burns, on behalf of the Justice Commission. Senator Beatty, I'll get your signature. And I will notarize it. Stamp it.
te wate o kia, I tancha, e tāku o kia, a kukarika, o iate kewi chasa, o iate awata, o iate tōpatika, o pera tanka, chichi akaro. Your chief, Brian Harlan.
Hey! Come shake hands. After the Denny Drummers, we'll have a victory song. Come shake hands.